Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. We've already given out more than $75,000 to students in North Dakota this year. Let us help you become the next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
But I'm down on my knees, honey. Don't go loving on nobody but me. Nobody but me gonna love you like you ought to be loved on. Nobody but me gonna cry if you up and leave. Now you can do what you want to, but I'm asking pretty please, honey, don't go loving on nobody but me. Nobody but me gonna love you like you ought to be loved on. Nobody but me gonna cry if you up and leave. Now you can do what you want to, but I'm asking pretty please, honey, don't go loving on nobody but me. Don't go loving on nobody but me.
Boy, you sure look good there, standing in the doorway in the sunset light. Maybe I read you wrong, thinking you could be my Mr. Right. I was putting my heart and soul on the line. Said you needed some time, just a little more time to make up your mind. Well, it's been long enough. Time is up. Bye-bye, love. I'll catch you later. Gotta let foot down on my accelerator, and the rear view mirror torn off. I ain't never looking back, and that's a fact. I tried all I can imagine. I begged and pleaded in true lover's fashion. I've got pride. I'm taking it for a ride. baby, bye-bye.
You can listen on your smart speaker.
Hello.
Just say, play KOVC.
Never knew my old man's truck could even run like that. Should've known better than to take that curve so fast. Daddy pulled up, I was down in a ditch, and he asked me why I did what I did. There was this girl, drink in her hand, shoot me a let's get into trouble grin. I ain't never seen something so fine, and I was doing anything to make her mine. I was out of my mind, she was out of this world. There was this girl. Some folks ask me why I still pick this guitar. See, living that life on the road won't get you very far. I say, man, you should have been down in Tupelo, seen what was in the front row. There was this girl, beer in her hand, shoot me a prayer, little Skinner grin. She's turning it up, she's turning me on, and I'd play her anything, she'd sing along. I was out of my mind, she was out of this world. There was this girl. Yeah, there was this girl. Didn't know a diamond ring could cost so much. Damn. Took 6 months on a farm before I saved up. All my drinking buddies still out on the town, wondering why I ever settled down. But there was this girl holding my hand, shoot me a start, a life together grin. She's pulling me in, she's straightening me out, and now I know what love is all about. I'm still out of my mind, she's still out of this world. There was this girl. Yeah, there was this girl. Yeah, there was this girl. There was this girl.
This is 1490 KOVC AM Valley City and 96.3 K242CZ Valley City.
The voice of the valley.
We go to game number 2 of our doubleheader tonight after a superb performance by J.C. Richter of Valley City State with 31 points and 15 rebounds in the first half of our doubleheader. Is only outdone by Jordan's Rust of Mayville State, who finished with 36 points and 9 rebounds. And the Viking women fall 95-76 to Mayville State University. Now it's time for the men's matchup in the doubleheader. And the Viking men will take on Mayville State in a game that last time it was played in this arena a year ago was 102-98 Valley City State. And the Vikings were the first team to beat Mayville State in conference play a year ago. As we enter into this matchup, Mayville State having another fantastic season as they enter tonight. Our Sanford Health Valley City abbreviated pregame report for game number 2 shows us that Mayville State University, with a record of 14-3, is 2-0 inside North Star Athletic Association play, and that's key, being 2-0, not because of a half-game lead that they have over Dakota State, but everybody else had a loss inside the league in the first 2 games. That's how competitive this league is expected to be in men's play this year, whereas Mayville State has run the table in the early going in the conference, and at 14-3, they have a superior record. The next best team in the conference is 12-7 right now in the overall campaign. That was Dakota State, a team the Vikings saw this past weekend and were beaten by inside conference play. So a very good Mayville State team that's here, and they're taking on a Viking team that continues to look for the right rotation. At times against Bellevue, it looked like they had found some of that right rotation, but the Vikings added a couple of key pieces of personnel at the semester break, and it broke up what had been a pretty steady rotation that the Vikings had for the first half of the season. Now they're trying to relearn a few things, and it's been a little bit of a struggle, but nonetheless, the Vikings found some moments against Bellevue where their defense was clicking. They had forced some turnovers. At the end of that game, however, though, we saw that there was just not a lot of continuous play. 41 fouls combined for between the two teams, and 29 turnovers in that matchup as well, combined for between Bellevue and Valley City State. But the Vikings won it by a score of 64-60. And so the Vikings are currently 1-1 in the league, and they enter this matchup with a record of 9-7. But it's always a good one when the Comets come to town, and we're expecting more of that tonight. Our pregame report is brought to you by Sanford Health, Valley City, here for all and here for good. And coming up, we'll take a look at our starting lineups, give you a complete breakdown of where we're at in league play tonight, and get ready for the tip-off of men's play. It's the Vikings and the Comets, game number 2 of our doubleheader tonight, here on the Voice of the Vikings and the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on 3 major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
Lever's Foods, best quality, best price. Lever's Foods, best service, they're nice. Lever's Foods, they make everything right.
All this week at Lever's Foods in Valley City, save big on boneless beef bottom roast, $3.99 a pound. Extra large red or green seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. Kellogg's cereals after coupon, just $1.88 a box. And Progresso Vegetable Classic Soup, 3 for only $4.98. Delivery is available by calling 845-1732. Lever's Foods, Valley City.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
Sanford Health of Valley City is dedicated to transforming your healthcare experience and providing access to world-class healthcare right here in America's heartland. We're committed to improving the human condition at every stage of life through exceptional care, spiritual enhancement, innovation, and discovery. Schedule your appointment today at Sanford Health of Valley City by calling 701-845-6000 or self-schedule online at mysanfordchart.org. Sanford Health, here for all, here for good.
Rambo, a proud sponsor and fan of Viking Athletics, has been serving North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota with quality logoed apparel and promotional products since 1979. With online store options built to meet the needs of your company, organization, or team, Rambo will ensure that the process of ordering is easy and accurate and that your items are received on time. When you're ready to put your logo to work, give Matt a call at 701-680-9585. Rambo, we're in the business of making you look good.
This is Hannah Whelan at Valley City State University. The V500 scholarship members' generosity and commitment is exactly the kind of community involvement we need to keep VCSU going strong. The many scholarships provided are a testament to the support of the alumni, family, and friends of VCSU. Please keep expanding the opportunities available to enhance the lives of the next generation and make a difference for attracting future Vikings by supporting scholarships online at give.vcsu.edu or by calling the VCSU Foundation.
Welcome back to our coverage of Viking basketball on the Voice of the Vikings and the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. Game 2 of our conference doubleheader tonight from the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse. The Vikings will take on Mayville State University, the rivals from just 75 miles up the road. coming back into the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse tonight. Again, the first loss in conference play a year ago for Mayville State was taken by the Comets on this floor by your Vikings in a 102-98 win for Valley City State. Tonight, the Comets come in 14-3 in the overall campaign, 2-0 in league play early. Valley City State's 1-1 after a split this weekend, dropping matchup number 1 with Dakota State, winning matchup number 2 against Bellevue University. And the Vikings are currently 9-7 coming into this matchup. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's matchup. First of all, the starters for the visitors, the Mayville State University Comets. The guards tonight are Juan Carlos Canajote, a 6-foot senior from Santiago, Dominican Republic. Also at guard tonight will be John White Jr., a 6'3 junior from Peoria, Arizona. In the middle will be Jamison Kramer, a 6'6 senior from Marion, North Dakota, right down the road. He's a former Lemoore Litchfield Marion Lobo out of Litchfield Marion High School. And of course, this is about as close as it gets for home games for Jamison Kramer's family coming up here to Valley City. Just a short 20-25 mile trip to see their young man come to town and play. Forward, Stefan Garza, 6'4 junior out of Grafton, North Dakota, and Thomas Giske, a 6'3 grad student from Sartell, Minnesota, and he's been a good one throughout the last few years for Mayville State. Brandon Magruder, in his second year as the head coach of Mayville State, a very well publicized story that saw Brandon Magruder take over the head coaching job in season after the former head coach Darren Teig left his job 2 weeks into the start of the basketball season for Mayville State a year ago. Darren Teig is now the head coach down at Dakota State, who we saw here in this building back on Friday night. And Brandon Magruder did a very nice job of leading the Comets in progress a year ago. And now he's got them for a full season this season. Starting lineup for the Valley City State University Vikings tonight. The guards are Caden Rickard, a 6-foot junior from Fargo, North Dakota, and Cleveland Bedgood, a 6'3 senior from Miami, Florida. Starting post will be Hunter Lyman, a 6'8 junior from West Fargo, North Dakota. The forwards will be Agua Nywesh, a 6'4 junior from Austin, Minnesota, and Ladarius Stanfield, a 6'6 junior from Sacramento, California. Ryan Montgomery in his 8th season as the head coach of the Vikings, with Tim Wagner in the 3rd season as his assistant. When you start to break this down, Tom Giske at 6'3 really does take a lot of reps inside. What Mayville State loves to do is move matchups around to get Giske to rotate inside and post up his man. So we'll see what the Vikings do as far as matchups early. Do you leave Hunter Lyman on Jamison Kramer, a 6'8", 6'6 matchup, or do you go ahead and let Hunter Lyman really defend who you think is going to be the lead weapon in there in Tom Giske? We'll have to wait and see. And of course, the Vikings play a lot of zone anyway, so perhaps they feel like they have that accounted for and won't have to go the matchup route. But we did see the Vikings playing more man defense than we're used to seeing last weekend. And Ryan Montgomery in the postgame report told us that they question that defensive look every time they talk about their team. They say daily he and Coach Wagner are discussing what they want as far as defense that's best for the team that they have on the floor this year. And it's not always the traditional 1-3-1 the Vikings have played. Comets will move from our left to right in black with blue and white. The Vikings will move from our right to left in cream with cardinal. Jamison Kramer takes the middle to take the jump. Hunter Lyman waiting for his opportunity, and now it won't be. It's going to be Ladarius Stanfield that will take the face-off tonight. So the Vikings will move a forward in there for the jumping ability. Kramer wins the jump for Mayville State. Comets will have the basketball to get things started tonight in the second half of our conference doubleheader. Viking basketball tonight here on the Voice of the Vikings and the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. Canajote with the basketball for Mayville State. Hands off on top for John White. They look inside, and right away, Jamison Kramer finding a way to score in the post at 6 feet 6 inches tall. Kramer has his opening points tonight at Mayville State on a high-low play. We'll take a 2-0 lead. Caden Ricker with the basketball for the Vikings. Cleveland Bedgood handing off to Agua Nywesh. Running from left to right, takes his man all the way to the basket. Got inside against Stefan Garza, but misses the shot. Stanfield comes away with a long offensive rebound and puts it back, pulling up from the foul line to score. Stanfield hitting a jump shot. That'll tie it up at 2 apiece. 45 seconds in. Canahote into the front court for Mayville State. Hands it off to John White Jr. A step up to the top of the key. Same entry here. Kramer in the right post, backing down Rickard now, and scores off the glass. After a switch, Kramer ended up being defended by Caden Rickard, which is not the matchup that the Vikings are looking for, and they'll be looking for an adjustment against that rather quickly in the matchup tonight. Caden Rickard's a point guard, and Jamison Kramer at 6'6" is a solid post player. Agua Nywesh, high post to Hunter Lyman for the Vikings. His back to the basket out on the top. He'll move it back to Cleveland Bedgood, left wing. Slow possession for the Vikings. Shot clock at 10, and Stephon Garza is going to be called for a foul. Garza, part of a couple of Grafton spoiler basketball teams that went into state tournament action and played in a very competitive Region 2 up in the northeast part of North Dakota, was a huge part of those teams and has a great ability to shoot the outside jumper. Good quick player up the floor as well. Vikings with the basketball. Bedgood, quick release on a three from the right wing. It's off the high side of the rim, no good on his right side. And the ball comes back into the hands of John White Jr. at Mayville State. Ball down low. Kramer trying to back his way in now to Giske. Turn around. Giske will score on the hook shot. Tom Giske getting inside and scoring again, and it's been all posts so far for Mayville State as they take a 6-2 lead, which is very different from what you've seen so far this year. You've seen a lot of teams try to establish the outside. Comets are banging away on the inside. Bedgood to Stanfield on the left baseline. A turn back to the top. Agua Nywesh touches this one up last on a ball coming back out to the perimeter. That'll be out of bounds off the Vikings, and Mayville State will get the basketball back. See a quick whistle, and the Vikings going to call for timeout, something that Ryan Montgomery doesn't like about his team's energy offensively, and I'm going to guess this is more about the offensive side. Mayville State has come up the floor and done a really nice job of just establishing the post hard off of the first three possessions, and it's been all Kramer and Giske. Kramer twice inside. The Vikings have tried a couple of different matchups in there, and they haven't been able to find one they like. And meanwhile, offensively, that last possession for the Vikings was rather slow. They'd only moved the ball a couple of times, and the shot clock was down to 10 seconds. And Ryan Montgomery, the head Viking coach, trying to get the team refocused here after a timeout in the very early going. He takes a timeout just 2 minutes and 3 seconds into this opening half of play. Comet basketball coming out of the timeout off of a Viking turnover. And we'll wait for the Vikings to play it in. Thomas Giske inbounds to Juan Carlos Canahote. And Canahote will give way to John White Jr., who this time brings the ball to the top of the key for Mayville State. Canahote on the right side, taking a look in. Kramer comes out to set a screen. That screen is jumped, and now you got Stanfield rotating on Canahote. Here again is Rickard on Kramer inside. They look underneath, and Giske gets inside, misses a shot. Giske thought he was fouled. He was not. Hunter Lyman comes down with a miss for Valley City State. But now we're seeing why Mayville State's winning and getting that matchup. Nywesh, a deep three that's off the heel, and a rebound to Kramer. Kramer comes out, sets the screen to try to free up Canahote. Here's a three by Kramer in transition. He hits it. Jamison Kramer now has 7 of the Comets' first 9 points, and it's 9-2. The Vikings down by 3 possessions in the early going. Bedgood off to the right side for Rickard. Nywesh in the right corner. Bounce pass to Lyman, back to the basket, trying to back down against Kramer. Turnaround hook shot well short. Rebound Giske for Mayville State. Comets can go up big numbers in the early going. Canahote driving in on Bedgood. A stop, double pivot, initiates contact, looks to score over the front of the rim, and it rolls off the back end. Lyman the rebound for Valley City State. Vikings down by 7, 9-2 here in the early going with the basketball. Nywesh on top, getting a screen from Lyman, working right side. A stop, thought about pulling up from the elbow, turned it over. John White Jr. steps in front of a pass, met for Cleveland Bedgood, and White Jr. goes to the basket and scores. And it is a tough start for the Vikings tonight. 3.5 minutes in, Vikings down 9 by a score of 11-2 to Mayville State. Bedgood stepping up on the top of the key, working left off a bump from White Jr. Down low to Lyman, great pass. Lyman went reverse on the layup instead of scoring left side, ends up losing the shot. Canahote comes up, Kramer down low will score. High-low, Jamison Kramer with 9. Another timeout for the Vikings as the Comets go up by 11 and have all the momentum early. 16:08 left in the opening half. Your score in the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard is the Comets 13, the Vikings 2. We have a timeout on the floor brought to you by our friends at Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. This is Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Timeout taken by Valley City State, their second used thus far, as Mayville State has opened things up with a huge burst of scoring in the post. The Vikings have given up 7 points to Jamison Kramer down low, and Valley City State currently trailing by a score of 13-2. We'll see if the Vikings decide to switch back into their zone after calling for the timeout. They need offense right now. West driving. Odeir steps onto the floor for Valley City State as a post player, and so does Caden Grindy for Valley City State as a forward. Rickard driving right side from the elbow, jump shot missed. Grindy knocked the rebound loose, but John White Jr. pulls it down, and Juan Carlos Canajote will bring the Comets back into the front court. John White Jr. stepping right. Hard crossover on Grindy. Hard take to the basket. Left it short. Rebound Stefan Garza offensively for the Comets. He'll turn it out to Giske, and now Canajote left side steps into a three, and it's good. Juan Carlos Canajote for three. The Vikings sending in Caden Grindy, 6'4" sophomore from Spring Grove, Minnesota, and Odeir Olang at the post, a 6'6" junior from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Ogwen Iwesh jump stop on the foul line, double pivot scoop, layupping at it. Ogwen Iwesh, good look, stopping on the right elbow and then finding a pivot move and a step to the basket. The Vikings are back within 12. Giske going hard to the basket, scoring on a reverse layup. Tom Giske with 4. And the Viking defense has been absolutely dismantled here in the first 5 minutes of change. Rickard curling right, stopping on the foul line, reversing. Grindy off the left corner, taking it down towards the baseline. Shovels in, Stanfield backing his way down. Double, triple pivot on Giske. Hook shot good. Ladarius Stanfield with 4. Had the opening bucket of the night for the Vikings. And it's now 18-6. Valley City State back within 12. Canajote a head fake. They look down low. Kramer turning, pulls up in front of the rim and scores it. Jamison Kramer now with 11. That's a number of times now that we've seen Caden Rickard left to defend Jamison Kramer, and Jamison Kramer is not missing. Right side, Rickard kicking out. Stanfield, mid-range jump shot, missed it. Rebound, Canajote on the baseline for Mayville State. It's a 14-point Comet lead at 20-6. Canajote a crossover, had the ball knocked loose, and a travel coming up against Canajote. Canajote said that my hand was hit or the ball stayed at the bottom of his hand. It did not. Lamar Grayson for the Vikings will check in. 6-foot junior out of Richfield, Minnesota. And we'll also say Oseno Nagome, a 6'7" junior from Osseo, Minnesota, for his first minutes of the night. Lamar Grayson for the Vikings steps up into the front court. Grayson working right side to stop. Odeir Olang on the top of the key. Little high low to Nagome underneath the left pivot foot. He'll turn, falls away on Kramer and misses. Rebound deflected loose by Grayson. He can't find it. John White Jr. for the Comets up front. Stop top of the key for Giske. Stefan Garza on the left wing. And back to Canajote on top. Canajote crossing over on Grayson. A stop from the right elbow. Off to Garza on the right side. Double pivot, driving hard, and Odeir Olang rejected a shot over the top for Valley City State with a hard swat. Grayson kicking out. Here's Olang the other way for 3. That's short. Rebound to Jamison Kramer for Mayville State. Bounce pass to Canajote. Comets back in the front court. Behind the back move to John White Jr. Deflected loose by Nagome, but Jr. runs it down. I should say John White Jr. rather. Knocks it, runs it down on the top of the key. Move right side by Canajote, going between the legs, drawing Olang as a defender. They work down low, and here comes an offensive foul. Kramer with the shoulder down. Waiting for it was Nywesh, sold it well, and Jamison Kramer is called for his first of the night. And this continues the trend. This is 4 games in a row now where we've seen the officiating crew not take any time at all to look for a charge. If the shoulder's down, it's going to be called a charge unless it's in the arc underneath the basket. And that's the way it's been very consistently for about 3 weeks. Grayson a spin move. Got to the glass, but left it strong with the left hand. Loose ball to Canajote. Bounce pass up the floor. Garza blocked by Olang, but a foul coming up against Odeir Olang as well. That'll be the first foul of the night against Valley City State. With 12:51 to go, On the LaRue-Laco Financial scoreboard, it's still a 20-6 lead for Mayville State. Jamison Kramer with 11 points in the early going on 5 field goals for the Comets. Stephon Garza's at the foul line, and number 1 is good. Garza becomes the 5th Comet to score. The Vikings have 2 field goals from Ladarius Stanfield, 1 from Aguanaiwesh, and nothing so far from the outside. Garza's 2nd is good. Stephon Garza, 2 of 2 from the foul line. 16-point Comet lead at 22-6. Grayson back up the floor for Valley City State. A little bit listless on the Viking side right now. Jerome Washington steps in for Valley City State. 6'5 guard from Andover, Kansas. Olang hard to the basket with a 2-hand flush. Odir Olang coming over from the right wing and goes right down the heart of the paint. 2 hands over the front iron, and it brings the Viking crowd to life. It cuts the lead to 22-8, but gives the Viking crowd something to celebrate. Garza on the top of the key with a couple of between-the-legs dribbles. Hands off to John White Jr. Deep 3 with Washington in his face. He hits it. John White Jr. stepping back and hitting a 3 that Jerome Washington contested extremely well, and the Vikings are now down 17. Lamar Grayson from 6 feet driving in, pulls up and misses the jumper. Rebound taken by Giske for Mayville State. Comets looking big numbers now. Jamison Kramer driving on Olang, kicks it out right side, was able to find his way to Garza. Juan Carlos Canajote, a head fake, Drew Washington, a kick out. Kramer open for 3, that's off the front. Olang looking to scoop the rebound, trying to save it in bounds, but stepped on the baseline before he got his hands on it. And so the Comets will keep it in the front court. 17-point lead for Mayville State at 25-8. And the Comets will inbound a 3-point play, puts them up by 20 with 11:43 to play in the opening half. Canajote, bounce pass to the foul line. Giske, hard take inside. Grindy fouled it. Caden Grindy reaching back after him will be called for his first, and that will put Giske on the foul line. Comets going to make a couple of changes here. Darren Jones, 6'8 junior from San Bernardino, California, is going to come onto the floor for the first time. It was tough to guess their lineup because they have some players that have played minimal games either due to injury or rotation. Giske knocks down the front end. He's got 5. And we'll also see B.J. Woods entering as well. Woods, a 6'1 senior from Compton, California. So we'll see Jones from San Bernardino, Woods from Compton stepping in. Giske, second foul shot from Sartell, Minnesota. That one won't fall. And Tom Giske with 5 and holding. The lead is 18 for Mayville State at 26-8, 8.5 minutes into the opening half. Cleveland Bedgood reemerges for the Vikings. Jerome Washington back to Bedgood, left alone, stepping over towards the right corner. His game is to drive and shoot. Bedgood a stop, a look in. Osainu Nagome leads into a shot, can't get it to fall. And we'll see a blocking foul coming up on the end of this. Osainu Nagome leaning over, and B.J. Woods thought he had established position. The call is he did not, and B.J. Woods has his first personal foul. So we'll see Osainu Nagome going to the foul line for Valley City State, looking to perhaps chisel, if you will, into a Comet 26-8 lead with 11:21 to go here in the opening half of play. Conversation going on after that call between Brandon Magruder, the head coach of the Vikings, and our official. First foul shot for Osainu Nagome won't fall. First opportunity from the line tonight for the Vikings. Still an 18-point Comet lead. Vikings got to hurry. Still plenty of time left in this one, but they've got to find their offensive rhythm. Second foul shot, Nagome can't hit that either. 0 of 2 from the foul line for Osainu Nagome. And the Comets down 8, or rather with an 18-point lead, will step back into the front court. Canajote moving right side. John White Jr. gets a screen that time. Screen was set by Darren Jones. Jones will take a high-low play, shoulder down, offensive, you bet. That's the way it's going to be. And again, I have never seen a run where the officiating has been this consistent in how they're going to call one aspect of the game. This is 4 games now, the 4th game, where if the shoulder dips, it's offensive, and that's all there is to it. It makes all the sense in the world with, you know, first defender, secondary defender, foot this, foot that. Here's a drive by Lamar Grayson and a blocking foul coming up as Grayson went to the rack against B.J. Woods. And Woods will be called for a second. But, you know, the conversation around basketball is what is and what is not a charge. What is block, what is charge, it's hard to know. And the officials have been put in a rough spot with a litany of rules that they have to make their way through. And every single night that we've seen the game played the last 4 nights at this level of college basketball, shoulder down, it's a charge, and that's the end of the conversation. And it's been consistently called against the Vikings, against their opposition. Jerome Washington, left corner with the basketball for the Vikings. Cleveland Bedgood stepping in, working back. Washington on the right wing, a jab step, driving into the lane, a stop on the elbow. Grayson trailing, hard bump to the basket, scores. Lamar Grayson finding his way into the heart of the paint, has his first 2. Lead cut to 16 at 26-10. Woods up front, crossover Jones, blocking foul, count it 1. They're going to get Hunter Lyman. Lyman just got back on the floor. Darren Jones going to the basket, and Jones will score his first. 6'8" junior from San Bernardino, California. Long reach, long body, and Jones scores over Lyman, who commits the foul. The lead is 18, and Jones is at the line looking to complete the 3-point play for the Comets and put them up by a 19-point margin. Shots on the way strong off the heel, and a rebound to Cleveland Bedgood. Vikings will kick it out to Lamar Grayson. It's 28-10. Mayville State on top. Bedgood right side to Jerome Washington. Draws the front end of his zone. They go into Lyman. Lyman taking a look, tried to force it to a lane, turned it over. Jacob Strand just stepped in. Glendon, Minnesota senior. Comes on for the first time, gets the steal. And White Jr. hits a 3 from the left wing. John White Jr. has 8. The lead is 21. 31-10. Washington for a 3 the other direction. Hits it from the right corner. And a timeout will be taken, I believe, by the Comets. Mayville State calls for a timeout as Jerome Washington knocks down a 3. Vikings back within 18 at the 9:54 mark of the opening half. 31-13 your score. The Comets with an 18-point lead over Valley City State. And should be our media, but it won't be. All right. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll come back with more. This is Viking basketball.
CHI Mercy Health in Valley City strives to bring you quality health care close to home. They're bringing in mammography services, extended their occupational therapy program, and updated physical therapy and emergency room spaces. They're currently seeking to fill a number of positions. To find out more, head to chimercyhealth.org under the Careers tab. CHI Mercy Health Valley City, voted top 100 critical access hospital and one of the first in the nation designated as an acute cardiac-ready hospital, providing quality health care close to home.
My mistake on that. The Vikings took a full timeout early in the game. If there's a full timeout before the 10-minute mark, that works as the media. So my mistake, 30-second timeout. Mayville State calls it with a 31-13 lead over Valley City State. Jacob Strand to the right elbow, looks underneath. Jones a turn, missed off the glass. Lamar Grayson comes up with a rebound for the Vikings. Rare stop out of the post for the Vikings tonight. Grayson driving left, goes to the basket and misses, but a rebound put back. Odihiro Lang scoops the rebound off the rack and has his second dunk of the opening half. Taking the other way, teardrop and a score for Mayville State as they enter Kayshawn Bolin. And Bolin comes up with his first bucket with a teardrop right down the heart of the lane. Vikings again try to grab rhythm. They're back down 18 at 33-15. Grayson to the right corner, and Oseno Dagom lost the ball on the sideline. Correction, Agua Naiwesh did. So on the break, Kayshawn Bolin, 6'7" junior from Compton, California, comes into the matchup for the first time and comes up with a teardrop running right down the heart of the lane to score after Odihiro Lang cleaned up an offensive rebound and put it back with his second two-hand dunk of the night. John White Jr. off a screen, pulls for 3, hits it. John White Jr. stepping out top of the key. He's got 11. Jamison Kramer has 11. And the Comets have splashed 5 times from beyond. They're back up 21 at 36-15. Ball knocked loose by Strand, but rescued by Caden Rickard, his 15-footer. He comes up with a long teardrop look, and Rickard has his first 2 off the bottom of the palm from the right elbow. It's an awkward place to hit that. Bolin sets a screen. That's illegal. It'll be called against Mayville State's Kayshawn Bolin. Bolin handed the basketball off and was moving to set the screen at the same time, and Bolin is going to be called for the illegal screen. He doesn't like it, but that looked like a pretty good call. Agua Naiwesh will inbound the basketball. Grayson waiting for it. Vikings down 19, 36-17 with 8 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the opening half on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. Odihiro Lang steps at a 3, gives it off to Cleveland Bedgood instead. Bedgood off the dribble for 3. That's off the heel. And a rebound comes down inside with Darren Jones from Mayville State. Comets back up front. B.J. Woods working right off a screen. Easy take to the basket. No, Lang blocked it off the window. That's going to be called goaltending. And B.J. Woods will get a bucket, I believe. It will be B.J. Woods that gets credit for the bucket. So 2 for Woods, and that'll push the lead back to 21 for Mayville State, I believe. 38-17, there the points go up on the board. And Lamar Grayson, as the point guard, brings the ball up for Valley City State. Grayson curling his way back top of the key. Crossover dribble off the screen from Olang and a foul. They're going to get B.J. Woods for holding up Odair Olang on the back end of the screen. Brandon Magruder doesn't like it. Comet crowd comes to life, but in part, that's because B.J. Woods has picked up 3 fouls in a stint off the bench tonight. And taking a look back at the Comet crowd this evening, if looks could kill, they're not happy with that one. It's also the 7th team foul against Mayville State. The Vikings have committed just 2, and Odair Olang shoots 1-for-1 penalty. Vikings 0 of 2 from the foul line tonight, and they are now 1 of 3 as Odair Olang with his 5th. And Odair Olang now leads the Vikings in scoring. The Vikings have scored 18 points in 12 minutes of gameplay thus far. Second foul shot for Olang is good. 6 points for Odair Olang, and the lead is 19 at 38-19. Comets into the front court with the basketball. A look off the top of the key. Juan Carlos Canajote kicks out right side. John White Jr. another 3. 4 threes in the half, 14 points for John White Jr., and it's a 22-point lead at 41-19. Cleveland Bedgood with a teardrop driving the lane. He fails to score. Rebound comes down with Darren Jones for Mayville State. Canajote curling off towards the right, into Jones in the high-low. Grayson trying to hold him up will be called for a foul. Well, something going on here in front of us. Steve Olson, who's the game day event manager here for the Vikings, and Dennis Hutter, the head women's basketball coach for the Comets, are engaged in some sort of a rather intense conversation that's happening. I'm not sure what that's all about, but they came out of the Mayville State stands looking for somebody to talk to, and Steve Olson has come over to talk with them. I'm not sure what's happening there. Ball goes to the foul line for Mayville State after the foul by Grayson. They look right down low, and Kayshawn Bolin scores again. Kayshawn Bolin now with 4 points on the night for Mayville State, and it's a 25-point Comet lead. Caden Grindy for 3. He connects. Caden Grindy for the Vikings out of the left corner. Cuts the lead to 45-18. But the Comets already at 45 points and 7 minutes left to go here in the opening half of basketball. John White Jr. curling his back up towards the top. Looking at Darren Jones on the left side. Jones looking underneath. Turn, reverse, layup. Jacob Strand will score. And a timeout will be taken by Valley City State. All this is going on with Tom Giske and Jamison Kramer riding bench right now for Mayville State. And this is a big blow up. Your score reads 45-22. I believe that the score is actually 47-20 Comets. 6:51 left in the opening half of the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. We have a timeout for Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. This is Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Lockout Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue at 701-845-6938 or James M. Lockout at CPA 701-845-1660. Services offered through Investment Advisors, a division of Pro Equities Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities offered through Pro Equities Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer and member FINRA and SIPC.
Ivy Real Estate Group, your locally owned real estate brokerage, is cheering for the home team. Listen to KOVC for the Ivy Real Estate Group Player of the Game following every Valley City Highliner and VCSU Vikings game.
Confirm the scores table. Scores correct. 45-22. Mayville State with a 23-point lead over Valley City State with 6:51 to play in the opening half. And a lot of damage has been done by Mayville State with their key players, Tom Giske and Jamison Kramer, sitting on the bench at this point. And now the officials have come together to talk about an issue. I believe it's still going to be Viking basketball. I'm not sure what the officials were talking over, but there was a little bit of a thing through the scoreboard. Check that out. Looks like it's okay. And Jerome Washington waiting to inbound the basketball for the Vikings. He'll turn it in. And back into the game is Caden Rickard for Valley City State. Grindy underneath. Olang, third dunk of the night. Odair Olang going down the right baseline, and Olang has 8. And the Vikings get back to within 21. But The Vikings need stops right now. Juan Carlos Canajote driving right side on Washington. Hard take to the basket, foul. And I mean, that's just Juan Carlos Canajote going hard to the basket and looking for something to happen. And Jerome Washington was kind of left on an island in that matchup with Juan Carlos Canajote. So Canajote goes to the foul line for Mayville State, looking to rebuild that 21-point lead, or I should say rather 23-point lead, that the Vikings were down by a couple of moments ago. First foul shot for Canajote is good. He's got 4. Lead is 46-24 in favor of Mayville State. And Canajote back at the foul line. Couple of rotations of the basketball, and number 2 is good for Juan Carlos Canajote. He's got 5. The lead is 47-24 in favor of the Comets with 6.5 minutes to play in the opening half of basketball. Rickard getting a screen from Odir Olang. Gives it back to Olang on the right side. Couple of hard takes in the lane. Kick out. Jerome Washington. Deep 3 for Washington. Off the heel of the rim. Hard fought rebound with the ball spinning loose. Canajote able to take it back after it was in the grasp momentarily of Kayshawn Bolin. And Canajote will dribble up the floor against some pressure from Agua Iwesh. Jacob Strand rotating towards the left side. Back towards the top of the key. Jab step. Hard take right. Darren Jones fall away on the foul. Actually, or I should say the baseline. And Darren Jones going to find his way to the foul line. Odir Olang will commit the foul. One of the things that I will be interested to see at halftime, the number of minutes in the first half that Jamison Kramer and Tom Gieske play. Tom Gieske, 18 points, 5.8 rebounds per game. Jamison Kramer, 16 points, 5.7 rebounds per game. They have barely played in this first half, and Mayville State has not given up anything. I mean, that's obviously a testament to Mayville State's depth, but the Viking defense has really struggled to find a way to match up with almost anybody that Mayville State's been able to put in certain situations. Second foul shot is good for Darren Jones, and Darren Jones now has 3 for the Comets. 48-24, Comets by 24. Rickard on the right sideline, Green to the top of the key for Oseno Nagome. Nagome turning, looking right side, turned it over. Loose ball to Canajote on a pass that was intended for Caden Rickard. Jacob Strand a head fake, drew the defender. Strand will stop, back to Canajote. Underneath, hard take into the lane. The pull-up misses, a little strong for Kayshawn Bolin, and a rebound foul. Bolin into the back of maybe Oseno Nagome. It won't be Bolin, though. It's going to be Darren Jones. Jones has his second, and no real look as of yet. Now we're going to see Jamison Kramer and Tom Gieske coming back into the game. So I'm going to keep track of this. They come in with 5:38 left here in the opening half. We're just going to see how many minutes they play after this point. The lead was 24 when Tom Gieske and Jamison Kramer came back into the game. They played very few minutes, and Mayville State able to maintain or build their lead. Nagome's first foul shot is good. That'll be his first scoring tonight for the Vikings. And the lead is cut to 23 at 48-25. And back at the foul line is Nagome. Looking to try to scrape it down to 22. It comes up a little short. Jamison Kramer has the rebound for Mayville State. Canajote into the front court for the Comets. They lead 48-25 on the LaRue-Laco Financial scoreboard. Behind the back pass for Kramer, taken away. Agua Iwesh trying to race up the floor, and he's fouled. A reach by Stefan Garza to keep him away from the easy bucket. Garza has second. Scoreboard updates brought to you tonight by LaRue-Laco Financial. This is the only game in the league tonight, so nothing to watch as far as scoreboard peeping. And Agua Iwesh will go to the foul line for the Vikings to shoot, I believe 2, should be in the act, and that was the 9th team foul against the Comets. So the Vikings will enjoy the double penalty for the remainder of the first half. Iwesh knocks down his third. Lamar Grayson will come back into the game. Just doesn't, it's a Vikings team that since the break hasn't had the same feel to it, and I'm not sure if that's because of the new personnel, if something's missing. Second foul shot rolls off for Iwesh, and the rebound will come down to the Comets. But they have been in a bit of a funk trying to figure out who they are, and this man-to-man defense that they've been playing, not exactly who they're playing early. Stefan Garza's fouled hard. He'll go to the basket and score. Stefan Garza fouled hard over the top. He has an opportunity to three-point play as he's fouled going in by Agua Iwesh. Iwesh with his first, and Garza a chance at a three-point play. And that's the 50th point for Mayville State with less than 15 minutes of first half clock gone in this first half of play. Stefan Garza, 4 points, is at the foul line, and Garza will not complete the three-point play. Oseno Nagome comes up with a rebound. 50-26. The Comets by 24. Lamar Grayson getting a screen, working right, stops elbow, kicks out. Jerome Washington for three, off. And the rebound underneath to Juan Carlos Canajote for Mayville State. Comets back up front. Canajote bounce past Garza. Oh, he got that one blocked by Oseno Nagome. Just matching up from player to player right up front. Caden Grindy, loose ball, comes up with the Euro step, high bank shot missed. Washington picks up the rebound and sticks it back. Jerome Washington with 5. Lead cut to 22 at 50-28. Stephon Garza left side for Mayville State. With the lead are the Comets. He'll hand off to the left for Tom Gieske. Driving in on Nagome. Ball knocked loose. That's out of bounds off of Nagome. And the Comets will keep it up front. Juan Carlos Canajote will step beyond the baseline to play it in. And Canajote waiting, looking, still looking. And comes underneath to Tom Gieske, trying to back down on Grindy. Kick out to the right side. Garza head fake, moving in. Back to Gieske, two-hand slam. Tom Gieske with the dribble drive, drawing the defense. Gieske wide open on the left baseline. Easy two-hand flush for Gieske. Lamar Grayson the other way. Hard take to the basket, misses. Rebound Stephon Garza. Canajote leads the breakout for Mayville State. Right side, Jamison Kramer in rhythm and transition for three. Missed it. Nywesh deflects the rebound loose, and Oseno Nagome will secure it for the Vikings. 4 minutes to go in the opening half. 52-28. Comets by 24. Spin move, Nywesh to the basket, foul. Maybe got one against Gieske driving down the baseline. And the foul will go against Tom Gieske, his first. Kid out of Sartell, Minnesota. Sartell is a northwest suburb of St. Cloud. Played for the Sartell Sabres. And when you're in the greater St. Cloud area, if you don't know the area, you can just cross the street and you're in Sartell. St. Cloud, Sartell, Sauk Rapids, all kind of this metro area, and they're not even separated by rivers or things like that like you're used to with Fargo, Moorhead, or Wahpeton, Breckenridge. They're just basically separated by a street here or there, and boom, you're in a new city. Agua Nywesh with 4 as he knocks down the front end, and he'll hit the back end as well for 5. And that'll cut the Comet lead to 22 at 52-30. Comets waiting to inbound the basketball. Vikings make a change. Nywesh will step out. Cleveland Bedgood comes back into the matchup for Valley City State. And the Comets are into the front court. Canajote giving the ball to Gieske. Hard take all the way to the baseline. Scores it. Just a hard take in against Caden Grindy. And I don't know, the Vikings may have to just go back to the 1-3-1 and be who they are, because the man defense just really hasn't given them the spark they're looking for as of late. Bedgood in the right corner, driving baseline, a stop, goes into Oseno Nagome. He's able to chisel through, then went wraparound layup, and that was just kind of a circus-style shot that you're not going to hit very often. You go hard with the right hand of the basket, maybe give yourself a chance on that. Canajote, bounce passing down to the far corner for Stephon Garza. He'll run against Grayson out towards the top of the key. Back to Canajote on the left wing. Kramer comes out to set a screen. They work screen and roll. Vikings don't switch. Here's a backdoor cut. Jacob Strand goes in and scores. Nice play from Canajote to work the backdoor cut for Jacob Strand. And the Comet lead is now 26 at 56-30. Bedgood high bank shot. First points tonight for Cleveland. Bedgood driving right baseline. Uses the high glass to his advantage. Vikings back within 24. Strand underneath. Kramer catch and shoot on the alley-oop layup. And Jamison Kramer now with 13 as the Comets begin to have a little fun here. They've scored 58 first half points. Grayson from the foul line pulls up and hits from 15 feet. Lamar Grayson knocking down his fourth. And it's 58-34, Comets by 24. Strand a head fake, looking left corner. Garza into Kramer in the post, one-on-one with Grindy in a travel against Jamison Kramer. Well, sample size is only 17 and a half minutes, but in that sample size, if you're a Raider and you're not giving a vote to Mayville State after this, I'm hard-pressed to know how good basketball is around the country. Lamar Grayson, coast to coast, count it one for Lamar Grayson. He found an alley to drive, and Lamar Grayson has his 6th and is going to go to the foul line hit by Tom Gieske. That'll be his second, and that will be the end of Giske's minutes here in the opening half. So he's going to come out at the 2 minutes and 18 second mark. So that'll be 3:20 that he played with the lead at 24. We're just going to go ahead and subtract those minutes from his total. when we get the halftime numbers and see how many minutes the Comets played from their two big players in building up the big lead. As Lamar Grayson has 7, he completes the three-point play, and the lead is 21 at 58-37. Canahote to the right side for Jacob Strand. Strand goes into Garza on the foul line, back to Canahote driving left wing. A stop, a look in. Garza from the foul line, a little teardrop missed. He got his own board. Kicks it back towards the right side. It's picked up there by Kayshawn Brown, or Bolin rather. Kayshawn Bolin on a double dribble coming up as the ball came back out to Jacob Strand. So a turnover by the Comets. And the Vikings a chance here with less than 2 minutes to go to try to whittle the lead underneath 20. 155 and counting as Lamar Grayson will bring the Vikings back into the front court. Crossover working right side. Stopping a dribble on Canahote. Hard run to the basket. Blocking foul. Comet crowd doesn't like it. You can hear the boo birds, and there's plenty of them out there. But Canahote will pick up his first personal foul. And the Comets are beyond the 10-team foul limit. Lamar Grayson going to shoot 2 here, whether it was on the floor or in the act. So Grayson goes to the foul line. And his first is on the way and good for Lamar Grayson. Grayson with 8. Lead cut to 20, 58-38. 147 remaining in the opening half. In a long first half of play for the Viking fans. Second foul shot for Grayson is off the heel of the rim, and Grindy's pushed underneath, looking for a rebound. That's going to put Grindy on the foul line. And not a whole lot to say about that one from the Comet crowd. I mean, there was a big push in there. Kayshawn Bolin is going to pick up the foul. You could just see Grindy's body start to move backward while he was up in the air. So now Grindy will go to the foul line, trying to pull this thing back to within an 18-point mark. And, you know, these are important foul shots. If the Vikings get a couple of stops, cut this thing to 15, take it into the locker room instead of being down by the 20-plus margin, there's, a mental picture that comes into play that makes you feel like you can get back into it. But Caden Grindy misses on the front end. Stephon Garza will step off, and we'll see the reemergence of John White Jr., who had a huge first half shooting the basketball. White had 4 threes and 14. Grindy back at the foul line. Second foul shot off the heel of the rim as well. And boy, oh boy, this is a Viking team that's struggling. Jacob Strand to the front court, lead still 20. Strand for 3 wide open, hits it. Jacob Strand with 7. The lead's right back to 23. 61 first half points for Mayville State. Cleveland Bedgood, hard take to the basket, hit from behind, it fouled. Mayville State crowd doesn't like it again. Bedgood taking it in. Comets thought they got him cleanly on a block shot. John White Jr. will pick up the foul. And Brandon Magruder asking for an explanation as Cleveland Bedgood, 90+% foul shooter, free throw shooter, will go to the line for Valley City State. Little jeering going on now between the two student sections. Bedgood's first is no good. That's 4 foul shots in a row that the Vikings have missed. And I think they're right around 50% here in the opening half and maybe sub 50. And now it's the Comet crowd that comes to life. Second foul shot is good for Bedgood. 3 points for Cleveland Bedgood. 61-39. 22-point lead for Mayville State. Strand a head fake, looks down low, wide open, Jamison Kramer again. Jamison Kramer with 15 first half points for Mayville State. That is his 7th field goal. Grayson right side, the lead is 24. A handoff to Cleveland Bedgood. Bedgood sending the ball towards the right, then comes back towards his left, had the ball knocked out of his hands, able to reestablish the dribble. Ladarius Stanfield pull-up jumper from the elbow. Foul coming up on the rebound. This is going to go against the Comets. They're going to ticket Kayshawn Brown, or Bolin rather, his 3rd. And the Comets go a little further down their rotation. Jesse Berg set to come in, 6'10 senior out of Audubon, Minnesota. To the line, first foul shot is no good for Grindy. There's just not a lot to say right now. The Vikings have given up 63 points. They've missed several foul shots down the stretch. Second foul shot for Grindy is also no good, and this is just a performance for the Vikings in 20 minutes of play that they would really like to forget. Jacob Strand stepping up in the top of the key. Bounce pass to Kramer on the left elbow. He'll turn it back out towards the left side and found Juan Carlos Canahote. In underneath the Jesse Berg against Washington. Berg to the basket, missed it short. Stanfield comes up with a rebound for the Vikings. Lamar Grayson up front. Euro stepping his way to the lane and missed it off the front of the rim. Rebound will be ripped down inside by Jamison Kramer for the Comets, and the differential is about 3.5 seconds as the Comets come back into the front court. Canahote hanging out near the sideline. Lamar Grayson will give him about 12 feet of space. No count, no look. Grayson watching as Canahote just crosses over, left to right hand. Canahote a couple steps towards his right side now. Starts to play with 12 on the shot. John White Jr. back to Canahote on the right side. He'll drive towards Berg in that right post. Canahote underneath had a shot blocked. Loose basketball to Grindy, who throws up a prayer with 3 on the game clock, and that's it. And Mayville State, a 63-point performance in the opening half against the Vikings, and they lead by 24 at the end of the first half of play. A very, very tough first half for Viking men's basketball. The Vikings trailing by a score of 63-39 on our LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard as we go to our intermission. Our halftime report brought to you by Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good. See Rambo for all of your promotional products. Rambo, we're in the business of making you look good. Vikings basketball continues with our halftime report next. This is Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
This is Dr. Ryan Lorenz, physical therapist at Mobility Plus Rehabilitation with offices in Enderlin, Lisbon, Gwinner, and Valley City. Our mission is to provide exceptional physical and occupational therapy by highly skilled therapists to minimize pain and maximize mobility, which quickly allows you to return to the quality of life you desire. We will evaluate and educate you on your condition, review treatment options, and create an effective treatment plan to solve your impairments based on your unique situation and needs. I invite you to call our offices at Mobility Plus today.
Why choose professional eye care centers? Let me count the whys. First, there are now 4 great doctors to see. Dr. Frank, Dr. Freilich, Dr. Jangala, and now welcoming Dr. Bond. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic frame selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on 3 major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
Lever's Foods, best quality, best price. Lever's Foods, best service, they're nice. Lever's Foods, they make everything right.
All this week at Lever's Foods in Valley City, save big on boneless beef bottom roast, $3.99 a pound. Extra large red or green seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. Kellogg's cereals after coupon, just $1.88 a box. And Progresso Vegetable Classic Soup, 3 for only $4.98. Deliveries available by calling 845-1732. Lever's Foods, Valley City.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
Welcome back to Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC, from the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse tonight here at Valley City State University. The Viking volleyball team being acknowledged for their run to the national tournament this year. That taking place at halftime of this men's matchup tonight, and very, very nice to see that team that gave us so much excitement during the fall getting an opportunity to be acknowledged in front of a good hometown crowd here tonight for Viking basketball versus Mayville State. The problem, though, is that this one got out of hand for the Vikings in the opening half. The Viking defense surrenders 63 first-half points to Mayville State tonight, and the Comets lead by a score of 63-39 at our intermission. Our intermission report brought to you by Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good. Rambo is your home for all of your promotional products. So when it's time for you to find promotional apparel or promotional products for trade shows, apparel, of course, for your business or your sports team, count on Rambo to deliver it fast and deliver it right. Rambo, we're in the business of making you look good. Now, the obscure statistic here, there's 40 minutes possible for two players together in a first half. Each could play up to 20 minutes apiece. So there's 40 minutes possible. We mentioned that Tom Giske and Jamison Kramer, the two leading scorers for Mayville State, both post players and very skilled, did not play many minutes in the opening half until they got in at the end. And they were reinserted back into the game with the lead already 24. And that's what the lead is right now, 24. So when they were taken out of the game, they maintained the same lead as when they came back in. They got back in with a 24-point lead, and both of them got back in with 5:38 to go. So I took a look at the minutes, and the two of them combined for 8 minutes and 58 seconds of total game time in that final stretch. And together, minus that stretch that they played after the lead was already 24, the two of those players combined for just 17 minutes and 57 seconds up until that point. I mean, that's a lot of bench time for the two top players, and the bench coming in for Mayville State and continuing to run up the lead and build the lead. And the Vikings didn't have any answers for a lot of individuals out there, and we'll see what the Vikings come back with out of the locker room to start the second half of play tonight. But again, the Vikings down 63-39. The Vikings commit just 5 turnovers. Mayville State committed 7, but the Comets shot 67.6% from the field. They were 7 of 9 from the three-point line. The Vikings 41.2% from the field and 2 of 8 from the three-point line. And the Vikings were 9 of 19 from the foul line. They were also out-rebounded 25-16. And there's a few things here that lead you down the path of, okay, yeah, Mayville State obviously performed pretty well, but where are the Vikings at mentally right now? When you shoot 9 of 19 from the foul line, you start to wonder what's going on with the group at this point. And so that's a tough situation for the Vikings to face. The individual numbers at the break: Jamison Kramer, 15 points, 8 rebounds. John White Jr., 14 points. And, of course, John White Jr. was 4 of 4 from the three-point line in that first half. Tom Giske, 9 points, 4 boards. 5 points for one, Carlos Canajote. Stephon Garza had 4. Also, Kayshawn Bolin had 4 off the bench. Darren Jones with 3, B.J. Woods with 2 at the end of the opening half for Mayville State. For the Vikings, Lamar Grayson and Odier Lang co-lead the Vikings with 8 apiece. Agwan Iwesh and Jerome Washington each scored 5. Ladarius Stanfield with 4, Jerome Washington with 3, Caden Rickard with 2, and a single for Oseno Nagone. But 67.6% from the field for the Comets, 77.8% from the three-point line. Those are things that just rarely happen to you on your home floor when the opposition does what they just did, and they did a lot of it. And at the break, Mayville State leading by a score of 63-39 on our LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. And that is your halftime summary. And your halftime summary is brought to you tonight by Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good. We'll come back with more halftime in a couple of moments and get you ready for the start of second half basketball. We'll see if the Vikings can climb their way back into this one. 63-39, Comets by 24. This is Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Sanford Health of Valley City is dedicated to transforming your healthcare experience and providing access to world-class healthcare right here in America's heartland. We're committed to improving the human condition at every stage of life through exceptional care, spiritual enhancement, innovation, and discovery. Schedule your appointment today at Sanford Health of Valley City by calling 701-845-6000 or self-schedule online at mysanfordchart.org. Sanford Health, here for all, here for good.
Valley City State University, it's an exciting time as we experience enrollment growth. Support of the VCSU V500 Scholarship Program is making a difference, now more than ever. This is Al LaFave, president of VCSU. This rich tradition of V500 is as much a part of our future as it is our past. Involvement in this program helps students succeed at VCSU. Please consider joining us with a membership today and keep VCSU moving forward. Visit give.vcsu.edu www.vcsu.edu today to make a difference.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Lockout Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue at 701-845-6938 or James M. Lockout at CPA 701-845-1660. Services offered through Investment Advisors, a division of Pro Equities Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities offered through Pro Equities Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer and member FINRA and SIPC.
Every body is different. Some experience injuries, while others need extra support.
I'll help you, Grandma.
At Jamestown Regional Medical Center, your health is what matters most. Our orthopedics and sports medicine team care for you and your unique needs. Their goal is to help you live your best life. Choose Jamestown Regional Medical Center for care of hips, shoulders, knees, and broken bones. Learn more at jrmcnd.com/orthopedics.
Ivy Real Estate Group, your locally owned real estate brokerage, is cheering for the home team. Listen to KOVC for the Ivy Real Estate Group Player of the Game following every Valley City Highliner and VCSU Vikings game.
Welcome back to Viking Basketball, the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC. We are at halftime here at the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse, and the Vikings down by a 63-39 margin to Mayville State University at the end of the first half of play in men's basketball. Folks, tomorrow night we have more Highlander basketball, a doubleheader going on down in Wahpeton tomorrow evening as the Highlander girls look to stay undefeated inside region play, and the Highlander boys rejuvenated after picking up their first win inside the region last night against Fargo Oak Grove. We'll try to make it 2 in a row, and tomorrow night you'll have the opportunity to take that in with video and audio coverage with KOVC Radio and KOVC TV. Join us on newsdakota.com tomorrow night. Go to the sports tab, hover over that sports tab, and then go to the video section, and you'll find the link there tomorrow night for the video link up for the Highlanders in Wahpeton. You'll also get the same great broadcast that Jerry Edwards provides each and every night that he's out on the road here on KOVC Radio and through KOVC TV as the Highlanders go on the road tomorrow night to take on the Wahpeton Huskies. And that doubleheader is projected to get started with a 6 o'clock tip-off for girls play. JV games can alter that, obviously, so stay tuned for further broadcast details throughout the night. And then we're back with you on Friday night for Viking basketball at Dickinson as the Vikings go on the road for the first time in conference play. And remember, Dickinson's in the wrong time zone, right? So it'll be a little bit later, an hour later than we're used to. 6:30 start for the women's play on Friday night with a 6:05 pregame report, 8:30 for the men. And join us for that coming up on KOVC coming up on Friday night. Viking men trailing 63-39 to Mayville State as we get ready to start the second half. Second half action is on the way next. Halftime report is brought to you by Rambo. And this is Viking basketball, the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Why choose professional eye care centers? Let me count the whys. First, there are now 4 great doctors to see. Dr. Frank, Dr. Freilich, Dr. Jangela, and now welcoming Dr. Bond. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic frame selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on three major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
Lever's Foods, best quality, best price. Lever's Foods, best service, they're nice. Lever's Foods, they make everything right.
All this week at Lever's Foods in Valley City, save big on boneless beef bottom roast, $3.99 a pound. Extra large red or green seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. Kellogg's cereals after coupon, just $1.88 a box. And Progresso vegetable classic soup, 3 for only $4.98. Delivery is available by calling 845-1732. Lever's Foods, Valley City.
Well, we'll see if the Vikings can wash the taste out of their mouth after that first half performance, as Valley City State trails 63-39 to Mayville State. Welcome back to the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse on campus of Valley City State University. It's a pleasure to have you with us here tonight, no matter where you're joining us this evening in the region for Viking basketball. Ryan Cunningham with you here tonight. The Vikings had a tough first half. Mayville State shot 67% for the field, 78% for the three-point line, and the Vikings shot 9 of 19 from the foul line in the opening half, and Mayville State just kind of took the Viking defense apart in building up this 24-point lead. And if you're Ryan Montgomery, the head coach of the Vikings, I'm not really sure what approach you take in the locker room to deal with that. Are you more upset that you're down by 24? Are you more upset that you gave up 63 points? And I would say that you're probably more upset that you gave up 63 points in a game. I would say, in a first half, I should say. That is probably the thing that you probably point out the most in that situation. But down 24 is down 24. They scored 39, and they did so in a half where things didn't exactly go well for the Viking offense either. But we'll see. Second half will begin with Mayville State in possession. Actually, correction, Valley City State will be in possession. Ball will come in from the right side, and Ladarius Stanfield. And the Vikings have the basketball with Caden Rickard coming across the line. Juan Carlos Canajote comes out to defend him. Cleveland Bedgood getting a screen, working right. Pulls up for three, and it's off the front of the rim. A rebound to Jamison Kramer for Mayville State. So the Comets get a stop defensively. One and done as well. The Vikings struggling to try to find that offensive rebound opportunity tonight. Giske moving off to the right side. Vikings have dropped into their zone. Little 1-3-1 look now. We'll see how Mayville State adjusts to it. Kramer inside. Back out to Juan Carlos Canajote. Down to Sartell's Tom Giske, knocked away by Lyman, but Canajote able to keep the possession. Garza for three is no good. And Ladarius Stanfield comes away with a rebound. Good defensive stand for the Vikings as they drop into their 1-3-1 zone. Man didn't go so well in the opening half. We'll see if they stay with it. Nywesh moving left into a screen and casts for three and hits it. Agua Nywesh has got 8. Lead cut to 21 at 63, correction 19 at 63-42. The Vikings, no, I'm sorry, it was 21. My apologies. Rough math. We've seen comebacks like this before. The Vikings came back against Black Hill State long time ago, down by a 22-point mark in the end of the regular season. Here's a three by Canajote. That was with 11 and a half minutes to go. Correction, 13 and a half minutes to go. The Vikings came roaring back to win that game by 17. So a lot of strange things can happen in this game of college basketball. Nywesh a step back three. That's off the heel of the rim. And the rebound is Stevan Garza for Mayville State. Long pass up the floor. Tom Giske coming up with it. And his pocket nearly picked by Nywesh. That's out of bounds off of Giske. This is going to go back to Valley City State. So the Vikings getting into their zone. Couple of stops and a turnover against Mayville State in the early going. And the Vikings building a bit of momentum behind their defense. Caden Rickard steps up into the front court for Valley City State. Agua Nywesh handing off left side. Cleveland Bedgood again looking for a screen. Here comes an illegal screen against Hunter Lyman. Lyman trying to come back into that screen, and Hunter's had a tough night tonight and a tough couple of games as well. Hunter was averaging a double-double through the first half of the season. His numbers have dropped just below that now, 9-9 and 9-7 points and rebounds. And Lyman hasn't scored yet tonight and didn't really have a lot of minutes in the opening half either. Vikings again drop back in their zone. Juan Carlos Canajote on the right side trying to move the pieces around against it. Jacob Strand's going to come to the table and check in for the Comets on the next dead ball. John White Jr., Giske high post to Kramer high-low. Kramer scores the left hand. It dangled on the rim, didn't know if it wanted to go down, but it does. And the Comets attack that 1-3-1 zone, break it down with a high-low game. 65-42, lead back to 23 for Mayville State. Stopped by Cleveland Bedgood. Agua Nywish on the right side. Driving against Garza, hit by a double team. Reverses Stanfield for three. That's good. LaDarius Stanfield stepping into a three. He's got 7. And the Vikings cut the lead to 20 at 65-45. A stop. Juan Carlos Canajote looking at John White Jr. Bounce pass to the baseline. Back to the basket for Kramer. Back to Canajote. Baseline move, stepping in. Looks down low. Lyman broke it up. It's out of bounds. And this will stay Comet basketball. Jacob Strand will come back into the basketball game for the Comets, replacing Stefan Garza at one of the guard positions. And the inbounds play from Juan Carlos Canajote from Mayville State. Canajote bounced underneath. Kramer came wide open on the inbounds play and scores. And a frustrated Ryan Montgomery sits back on the bench for Valley City State. Lead back to 22 for the Comets at 67-45. Agua Nywish popping a long-range jump shot. Nywish now with 10. First Viking to double figure tonight. And the Vikings try to answer. The lead cut back to 21 at 68-47. Vikings again back in their zone. Strand and Canajote exchanging long passes against the top of that zone. At Strand, left side, and a three was altered. Ball deflected. Lyman comes away with the basketball. Caden Rickard into the front court for the Vikings. Chance to cut it under 20. Bounce past the top on Agua Nywish with a three. No good. Lyman, the rebound putback, missed it. Jamison Kramer swats the next effort out of his hands, and the ball will go back to Mayville State. Another opportunity for the Vikings in their hands. They were unable to close it up. Ball right side, John White Jr. to the right corner, Strand, a head fake, drew a defender. He goes down low, and a take to the basket by Giske that he got rid of to Jamison Kramer, I think. Canajote looking down low to Giske, and a ball knocked away. Agua Nywish is trapped in the corner. He looks to throw it off of Juan Carlos Canajote, didn't get it done. A take to the basket by Giske gets blocked. Jacob Strand cleans up the miss and scores off the glass. 69-47. Vikings back down 22 in an odd sequence. Nywish on the right side for Valley City State. Cleveland Bedgood trying to split a double team, a stop, kick out. Caden Rickard catch and shoot three, short off the front of the rim. Lyman another old board, hard jump stop in the lane, picks up the basketball, misses, looking for his own miss again, and this time Kramer knocked it away, and the ball's back to Mayville State. Comets back up front, Canajote right side to Strand, works into the lane, kicks out. White on the way for three, hits it again. John White has done that 5 times tonight. He's got 17 for Mayville State, and the lead is back to 25 at 72-47 in favor of the Comets. Rickard off to the right side, giving the ball away to Nywish. Little crossover. Nywish went looking for Stanfield in the screen and roll. Instead, it's Caden Rickard, teardrop on the baseline. He'll score it, and a timeout taken by Valley City State as the Vikings get back to within 23. 15-12 remaining here in the second half. On the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard, it's the Comets 72, the Vikings 49. Timeout for Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. This is Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
This is Dr. Ryan Lorenz, physical therapist at Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, with offices in Enderlin, Lisbon, Gwinner, and Valley City. Our mission is to provide exceptional physical and occupational therapy by highly skilled therapists to minimize pain and maximize mobility, which quickly allows you to return to the quality of life you desire. We will evaluate and educate you on your condition, review treatment options, and create an effective treatment plan to solve your impairments based on your unique situation and needs. I invite you to call our offices at Mobility Plus today.
Vikings call for timeout. They trail 72-49 to Mayville State University. Welcome back to the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse on campus of Valley City State University. Gieske on the foul line for Mayville State as they try to break down the Viking zone. He'll kick it back to Jacob Strand on the right. Off to the top, Juan Carlos Canajote. Now John White, another three. That went up and over the scoreboard and out of play. I should say up and over the backboard and beyond the shot clock and out of play. John White has hit 5 threes tonight. That might be his first miss from the three-point line. The Vikings down 23 as they come back into the front court. Rickard, screen and roll, Ladarius Stanfield traveled, being confronted by a double team. And the Vikings will turn it back over. Viking crowd that's here is thinned out a little bit. This one was a tough first half to try to maintain the fan presence in this one. Juan Carlos Canajote stepping up towards the right side into Gieske on the right elbow. Kick out, John White, a three from the corner this time. That one also off. And Ladarius Stanfield comes down with the rebound for Valley City State. Rickard to Cleveland Bedgood. Bedgood looking court wide and threw that one behind Aguaniwesh. You know, the Vikings believe in this team, and, you know, talking with Ryan Montgomery, they believe in this rotation. There's just something that hasn't quite clicked with these guys as of yet, but they've got really, really good basketball players. They've just got to try to find a way to work together as a unit here. A drive, Gieske to the basket, shot knocked out of his hands. It'll stay Comet basketball up front. You saw in that first half that defensively when they were in man, they just didn't really have much of a look to try to defend, and that's put them in a bad way here. Gieske will score in a reverse layup off the inbounds pass. Tom Gieske now with 9, and it's 74-49. The Vikings back down by 25. A drive by Caden Rickard, Aguaniwesh stepping out towards the top, looking to hand off, found Cleveland Bedgood. Rickard inside Odier Olang. Olang trying to back his way down against Kramer, turn, fall away up the glass, high bank shot missed, and the rebound to Gieske for Mayville State. Juan Carlos Canajote into the front court for the Comets, to the right corner for John White Jr. John White Jr. looks inside to Gieske. That's broken up. Ladarius Stanfield coming over to stop that. Caden Rickard trying to run the floor, and now Stanfield gets to the glass and scores. Ladarius Stanfield with 9. Vikings back within 23. It's 74-51. Juan Carlos Canajote up front. Long pass against the zone. Strand near side. They go into John White Jr. Kicked back out to Canajote. He'll work his way in the lane. Couple of steps. Kicks to Strand. Three-point shot short. Rebound deflected to the perimeter and run down by John White Jr. That's what you give up when you're in the zone. Those long rebounds against a three-point shooting team. The Vikings know it, but this is their best look. And now a pass forced down low to Gieske. That's picked away by Caden Rickard. Rickard uses a behind-the-back dribble to get to Cleveland Bedgood, who drives baseline, misses. Odier Olang rips away the rebound, has it deflected. It's out to Rickard, a 3. That's in and out, and the rebound to Jamison Kramer for Mayville State. Good sequence for the Vikings. Came up with an offensive look. And a stop, of course, on the other direction. Canajote working down low, kicks out. John White Jr. head fake on the 3. Works back to Canajote, calling for it in the right corner. And an offensive foul. Caden Rickard got over in front of Juan Carlos Canajote and draws the offensive foul. Lamar Grayson, Caden Grindy, and Oseno Nagome will come back into the matchup. Niewesh, Stanfield, and Rickard will step off the floor for the Vikings. And Lyman is the 9th, and that's kind of where the rotation is right now for Valley City State. Ball on the right side, Lamar Grayson. Bedgood will reverse to Grindy. Left side for Oseno Nagome. Nagome will reverse it back to Bedgood. Off to the right side, Odier Olang. Olang stepping into the lane, hard take, pivots in front of the arc and scores on a turnaround. Odier Olang, turnaround hook shot. He's got 10. And the Vikings are back within 21 at 74-53. Just looking to see if they can find a couple of stops to work with here. Jerome Washington also in that rotation. And Washington over towards the table. A stop. Near side of the floor. Quick touch pass from John White Jr. to Gieske in the corner. Back to John White Jr. 3 well short. Grayson the rebound. Vikings can cut it under 20 on this trip up the floor. Right side, Bedgood in the corner. Tries to bring the dribble back to the top of the key. Olang asking for a baseline cut from Nagome. Turns it back left side. A drive by Grindy. And a take to the basket that ends up strong for Caden Grindy. Been a tough night for Caden Grindy. Missed some foul shots in the early going. That's a good look. He couldn't come up with it. Strand on the right side for Mayville State. A stop, a look into the corner. Finding John White Jr. Strand into Gieske, looking high-low. Takes it himself and scores it from 7 feet. Little teardrop in the lane for Tom Gieske, who's got 11. And the lead is back to 23 for Mayville State. at 76-53. Lamar Grayson, kick out. Odier Lang, head fake on a three. Works himself in the lane, scoops one in. Left-handed layup, not exactly clean, but Lang's got 12. He had a spot cut off very late and got to the basket and scored that one the finger roll. Lead trimmed to 21 at 76-55. Comets. Giske inside to Kramer. Matching up with Lang. Back to Kramer on the near side. Giske and Strand will work to Juan Carlos Canajote. Canajote taking a look in, backing up. Takes a look down to the post, nothing there. Back to Strand. Head fake drew his defender. He'll drive, pulls up from 15, and rams one in on a line drive for Jacob Strand. He's got 11. The Comets have 4 in double figures now tonight. Lead back to 23 with 10.5 to go in the second half. Lamar Grayson working right, sprints through a double team, now tries a turnaround fall away, and Grayson hits it. And Lamar Grayson has a double figure night. 10 points for Grayson. And it's a 21-point lead again for the Comets at 78-57. Giske, John White Jr., top of the key for Canajote, off to Strand on the right side. Back to Canajote, looking at that Viking 1-3-1. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Just trusts Kramer down low in the high-low game. Olang came down crashing and blocked the shot from Kramer. Good pass to get it to him in the high-low. Another chance for the Vikings to cut this under 20. Grayson a crossover, a kick out. Grindy wants a three. He misses short. And Kramer has the rebound strong out to the foul line for Mayville State. Canajote stepping up front, leads one down low, and Sartell's Tom Giske going up for an alley-oop layup, and Grindy just stole the ball from his hands. Osenu Nagom to the basket and left one off the bottom of the rim. Rebound underneath to Giske. Quick touch to Canajote on the right sideline. Comets back up front. Giske inside. Hard turn on Lang and he'll score. Tom Giske scoring his 13th. 80-57 Mayville State. Clock down to 9:15 to play here in the second half. Bedgood right side. Olang pulling the trigger strong. And the rebound tussled for, and Jacob Strand had it and will be fouled from behind by Osenu Nagom. Lots of free play here in the second half for both teams. It doesn't look like either coach is making a strong play to overcoach it. Kind of writing on the wall type of thing that's going on right now. So you're using this as an opportunity to study your lineup, study your rotations a little bit. Players have a chance to work on some individual things. It doesn't have quite the game day atmosphere that you're looking for now because of the way that the first several minutes of this one have worked off. Canajote driving in, kicking across the lane against the zone. It's picked up by B.J. Woods, who had to leave after 3 fouls off the bench in the opening half. Canajote back to Strand, shot clock at 10. Canajote looking down low. Kramer turnaround follow away, no good, and Olang has the rebound for Valley City State. Caden Grindy will bring the ball into the front court for the Vikings. Finding Lamar Grayson, driving left, hard take, ramming it in, whistle and a foul. There's two different players on the floor. Comets are trying to sell charge in this, and I don't believe they sold it. They're going to get Darren Jones for a blocking foul. That'll be Jones's third. Are they ruling that this is on the shot? Looks like they are, and Lamar Grayson's going to find his way to the foul line for the Vikings. 80 points for the Comets in 11:24 of the second half. 80 points for the Comets in 31:24 of game time tonight. Grayson hits the front end. 11 points for Lamar Grayson. Second foul shot gives him 12. Lamar Grayson is 4 of 5 from the foul line tonight. Vikings back within 21, 80-59 with 8.5 to go. Ball on the near side of the floor, Juan Carlos Canajote leaves one to Jacob Strand. Strand takes a look in, driving left, stop. Jerome Washington comes out to get him. Bounce past the left corner again, B.J. Woods. He looks inside. Back to Strand. Strand leads one into the middle of the pack here. Darren Jones turns, tried to go down to Kramer. That was defended loose, and again the Vikings come away, forcing a turnover. Another chance to cut it under 20. Ball on the baseline. Osenu Nagom from 15 misses strong. And the rebound taken down by Darren Jones from Mayville. Have not been able to find the look that will do it. Canajote on the right side, reversing to Strand. Back to Canajote. He'll work right side, hard take to the rack, and scores on a layup over his head. Juan Carlos Canajote with 7. The lead back to 23 for the Comets at 82-59. And I'll tell you what, head coach Brandon Magruder for Mayville State has managed this situation extremely well. A 3 by Jerome Washington won't go. The Comets are playing this down to the 10-second mark on the shot clock. not doing anything super hasty here. We're going to see a jump ball inside as Kramer went down low. The only time they really go hard is if they're given the opportunity and the Viking defense doesn't get back. But they've done a really nice job of just sort of, okay, we've got the lead. They're not running it up. They're using the shot clock. They're just trying to obviously move on to the next one, and they don't have another next one until next week. So this has been managed well by head coach Brandon Magruder. A shot inside by Darren Jones ends up a little strong. Rebound Lamar Grayson, and the Vikings are back up front. Still down by 23. A pull up from the foul line by Lamar Grayson ends up no good. 3-on-2 breakout for the Comets, and Juan Carlos Canajote runs the transition and scores. And he's got 9, and now we'll see a violation of the baseline on the inbounds pass by Lamar Grayson. That will be a turnover, and the ball will go back to Mayville State, and a timeout will be taken by the Vikings. So the Vikings will call for timeout. It's a Mobility Plus rehabilitation timeout. Your score on the LaRue Lockout Financial scoreboard is the Vikings down to the Comets 84-59. This is Viking basketball.
Sanford Health of Valley City is dedicated to transforming your healthcare experience and providing access to world-class healthcare right here in America's heartland. We're committed to improving the human condition at every stage of life through exceptional care, spiritual enhancement, innovation, and discovery. Schedule your appointment today at Sanford Health of Valley City by calling 701-845-6000 or self-schedule online at mysanfordchart.org. Sanford Health, here for all, here for good.
Numbers at the 7:01 mark. Remaining in the matchup, Mayville State shooting 59.3% from the field in enemy territory. I mean, that is just an amazing number. Strand for Mayville State off of the timeout. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Comets leading 84-59 after the Viking turnover, and Mayville State with it. B.J. Woods driving, got tripped up, looks down low to Darren Jones. Hard take, shot blocked by Odeira Lang. Ball's loose, Jones got it back. Back to the basket, another body up situation. Olang comes away with a miss, but turns it over to B.J. Woods at a 3. That also won't fall for Woods, and Ladarius Stanfield will bring down the rebound for Valley City State. 6.5 to go. The lead is 25 at 84-59 for the Comets. Ball on top, Aguanaiwesh getting a screen, a stop and a look. Olang, ball faking, stepping to the foul line. Ball ripped out of his hands. He went down to a knee to get it. It's being wrestled for, and now we've got a tie up in the middle of the floor. Olang getting on top. They're going to call for the stoppage, and the held ball possession arrow is going to favor the Vikings. And we have some blood on Jacob Strand's left arm. He's going to clean up with the uniform. I'm not sure where the blood is. It doesn't look like it's Strand's blood. Odeira Lang taking a look to see if apparently he's got some blood on his arm. And now apparently Odeira Lang has a cut from his chin. So that's where the blood's coming from. So that will slow us down a little bit. And Hunter Lyman will jump up and come back to the table here for Valley City State and come back in to fill the spot that will be lost while they send Odeira Lang in for some repairs. 6:13 to go here in the second half. 84-59 in favor of Mayville State. Third conference game of the year for the Vikings. They go on the road for the next 3. Dickinson State on Friday night, and then a trip down to the southeast part of the league. La Crosse, Wisconsin for Viterbo 2 Fridays from now, and then coming back to Forest City, Iowa, and Waldorf on Saturday afternoon. Right now they're out mopping up that area of the floor where the tie-up just took place, just in case there's any residual blood out there. And Lamar Grayson set to inbound the basketball for Valley City State. Caden Grindy will take it. Vikings go to work. Aguanaiwesh working right side. 5 on the shot clock here. Grayson, Grindy, 2, 1, didn't get it off. And shot clock violation. I don't think the Vikings knew it. One of those situations that just got away from Valley City State in that sequence. They didn't realize that some of the shot clock had been extinguished before the jump ball came into play. So Mayville State back into the front court with the basketball in an 84-59 lead, down under 6 minutes to play now. in the second half. A stop looking near side. Jacob Strand ball faking left wing. Goes inside. Ball knocked loose. Agua Iwesh will take it. Here come the Vikings up the floor. Lamar Grayson driving, got fouled. Turnover forced by Hunter Lyman. And the Vikings are going to go to the foul line. They're going to get Juan Carlos Canajote, I believe, on the foul. They will. Canajote has his third. And so Lamar Grayson with a 12-point night for the Vikings. 4 of 5 from the foul line. Finds himself there. First foul shot is on the way and good for Lamar. 13 for Lamar. He leads the Vikings in scoring tonight. The Vikings have 3 in double figures. Agua Iwesh with 10. Odir Lang with 12. 9 for Ladarius Stanfield. Second foul shot is good for Lamar Grayson. That will give him 14. And the Vikings get back to within 23 at 84-61. And the Comets are going to call for timeout with 5:32 left to go in the second half. Comet timeout. Comets leading 84-61. Mayville State over Valley City State on our LaRue Lockout Financial scoreboard. We have a timeout for Mobility Plus rehabilitation. This is Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Hey VCSU fans, this is Dennis McCulloch, head football coach and athletic director at Valley City State University. This season we have more than 270 student athletes competing for VCSU in 14 different sports. They wear Viking colors with a tremendous amount of pride in our school and our community. Your generous donations to VCSU Century Club ensures that we can recruit and retain the finest student athletes in the NEI. Our goals are lofty and we can't do it without your scholarship dollars. Call 845-7161 and join us in supporting our hometown team.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Vikings inbound the basketball down by a score of 84-61 to Mayville State with the clock at 5 minutes 24 seconds to go. Make it 86-61 as Tom Giske pops back into the matchup and scores his 15th tonight. And the Vikings are down by 25 as they work their way back into the front court. Agua Iwesh for 3, foul to go to the line. Foul will be called against B.J. Woods. You know, the first 10 minutes of this half went by so quickly, and now seems like some of that discipline that was out there for both teams sort of managing the game with the big lead is whittling apart here. Some fouls down the stretch and some stoppages of play. Agua Iwesh has 10 points tonight, 3 of 4 from the foul line. He's now 4 of 5, and he's got 11. Again, tomorrow night, Highlanders on the road at Wahpeton. Doubleheader, we'll have it for you on KNOX TV, or I should say rather on KOVC TV. That'll be on our website, newsdakota.com. Hover over the sports tab and look for the video link. And when you find video, you'll find the matchup there. And Jerry Edwards will have the call from Wahpeton tomorrow night. Girls, boys doubleheader. Agua Iwesh hit the second and the third. And 13 points now for Agua Iwesh. And he's 6 of 7 from the free throw line tonight. Vikings back within 22. If they could just find a way to cut it under 20 and win that mental part of the game. Jacob Strand back to Juan Carlos Canajote. Stop underneath, layup try, actually an alley-oop try for Darren Jones through his hands. Not a great executed pass. Jones made it look athletic. The Euro step, Iwesh finger roll, could not get that bucket to go. And the Comets come away with Strand leading the charge up the floor. Transition pass to Kramer. His shot gets blocked by Ladarius Stanfield. The Comets want goaltending. Ball was in the air. I don't know if it was on its way down. It was really close, but they're going to say it's a blocked shot and not goaltending. And we'll see an inbounds pass being thrown in by Juan Carlos Canajote. Tries for the alley-oop again for Jones. That's broken up. Agua Iwesh for the takeaway. He'll kick to Caden Rickard. Transition 3 for Rickard. It's good. Caden Rickard with 7. Vikings get back to within 19 at 86-67. So they managed to cut the lead under 20. Strand off to the right side for Canajote along the far sideline. Grindy comes out to face him up. Back to Strand, inside to Jamison Kramer. Cut to Woods, and now back to Kramer. He'll pull up just in front of the arc, or in front of the hoop rather, in front of the iron, and missed it. Canajote out in the wing, picking up the loose rebound. He'll make his way down the sideline. Looks inside again for Darren Jones, and Jones will go up and score. Darren Jones now with 5 on the night. Lead back to 21 at 88-67. Agua Nywesh stepping left side. Ladarius Stanfield back to Nywesh on a handoff. Stop back into Stanfield, and he loses the basketball. Darren Jones comes away with it. And the Comets go on the floor with 3:40 left to go in the second half, leading by 21. Off the right side of the floor, ball with Tom Giske in the corner. He'll work back to Juan Carlos Canajote. Canajote on top, bounce past Jacob Strand, left side 3. That's off the back end of the rim. Rebound, Giske, put back, nibbles around. Tom Giske scores. 17 for Giske, including 10 in the second half. The lead is 90-67 for Mayville State. And we'll see a whistle and a foul on the near side of the floor against Juan Carlos Canajote, his 4th. Well, something to be said about this one coming out of here, and that is that there's obviously a good rivalry between these two, but the women from Mayville State scoring 95 tonight, the men currently 90 with 3:15 to go, and clearly advantage Mayville State in this one. And the football games were much more competitive this year. The Comets probably feel like they should have won that football game here in Valley City. Vikings a bit more dominant in the game in Mayville. A 3 by Caden Grindy comes up short, and the rebound underneath is taken down by Jacob Strand. Volleyball, the Vikings had a good roll going. Mayville State got a big win over Valley City State in Mayville in a sweep. Inside, the ball gets down to Jamison Kramer, and Kramer will score. Kramer with 21. He's got some fans here tonight from down in that Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion area. 3 for Grindy's no good. Oseno Nagome had an offensive rebound on the putback, apparently got fouled. And the foul is going to go against Darren Jones. Yep, Darren Jones will pick up his 4th. 92-67, the lead is 25. And we'll see Oseno Nagome to the foul line for Mayville State. The first is good, for Valley City State. Oseno Nagome now 2 of 5 from the foul line tonight. 2 points. 92-68. Second foul shot's on the way for Nagome. It's it. 92-69. Comets with a 23-point lead once again. 2.5 minutes to go in the matchup. A step across on the right side of the floor for Juan Carlos Canajote. Jacob Strand back to Canajote on the right side. Caden Grindy comes out to get him. A look towards the right here by Canajote. He drives in, kicks it back out towards the top of the key. A drive to the basket and a pull-up that comes up short that time from Jacob Strand. Rebound out to the right side, Caden Rickard. Oseno Nagome to the basket, finger roll in. Good transition play led by Rickard to Oseno Nagome. And the lead is cut to 21. At 92-71, we're down to the final 2 minutes in the matchup. Jacob Strand into the front court, looking left side, Darren Jones to Giske on the baseline. Pull up from 7, hit it. Tom Giske, 6 field goals in the second half, 19 now in the game for Tom Giske, having a very nice night. They look inside, Grindy trying to go to the basket, got hit. Thought he was fouled, he doesn't get the call. Canajote driving, backdoor Giske reverse layup, and he misses. Wanted to go down but would not, and it's ripped out by Odeura Lang on a physical rebound along the baseline. Grindy back into the front court, Oseno Nagome, the high-low catch, the turn, missed it short. Comes up with his own miss, now being defended by Giske, a kick out. Rickard's left alone for 3, knocks it down. Caden Rickard now with a double-figure night, he's got 10. That happened all down the stretch here, but Caden Rickard comes up with his 10th point tonight. And the Comets back into the front court with 1:10 left to go. A step by Juan Carlos Canajote on the far sideline. He'll back away from pressure. Grindy trying to stop him. Near side of the floor, Jacob Strand, and a timeout will be taken by Mayville State. So the Comets will call for a timeout with 1 minute left to go here in the matchup. 1:02 exactly. 94-74. The lead is 20 for Mayville State. We have a timeout for Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, and this is Viking basketball.
Rambo, a proud sponsor and fan of Viking Athletics, has been serving North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota with quality logoed apparel and promotional products since 1979. With online store options built to meet the needs of your company, organization, or team, Rambo will ensure that the process of ordering is easy and accurate and that your items are received on time. When you're ready to put your logo to work, give Matt a call at 701-680-9585. Rambo, we're in the business of making you look good.
CHI Mercy Health in Valley City strives to bring you quality health care close to home. They're bringing in mammography services, extended their occupational therapy program, and updated physical therapy and emergency room spaces. They're currently seeking to fill a number of positions. To find out more, head to chimercyhealth.org under the Careers tab. CHI Mercy Health Valley City, voted top 100 critical access hospital and one of the first in the nation designated as an acute cardiac-ready hospital, providing quality health care close to home.
Comet basketball about to pick up its 15th win of the season and about to move to 3-0 inside North Star Athletic Association play. And again, when you take a look at the depth on this team, if you're not going to rank this team, again, they're getting votes but not in the top 25, I'm not sure how good basketball must be around the rest of the country. New players in, a lot of different positions. We've seen just a few already. Jesse Berg in, turnaround jump shot at the horn of the shot clock that comes up empty. Vikings come away with it. Jerome Washington for three is short. And the rebound inside to Steele Sensky, redshirt senior out of Glendon, Minnesota. And the Comets are back into the front court. And we have some new players, as we mentioned. We'll see Leomar Castillo, junior out of Miami, Florida. Ball ends up in the lane, and Steele Sensky is going to score. Sensky's first two tonight for Mayville State. And the lead is 96-74 with 20 seconds to go. Comets won't get to 100, but they're going to score 95 and 96. Odier Lang driving as a shot blocked. Ball comes out to the near side of the floor and is out of bounds with 11.3 seconds. I'll tell you what, Viking, or should the Comet women, the Comet men come in here and they score 191 points. A three by Rickard is no good. And the rebound battled for inside. Odier Lang able to rip it free. Turnaround from 15 is good as he takes one away inside from Josh Dixon, junior out of Castleton, North Dakota. And that will cut it to 20. Odier Lang's bucket will give him 14. And the Vikings will fall to a record of 9-8 overall and a record of 1-2 in North Star Athletic Association play. The Comets improved to 3-0, 15-2 in the league. Your final score tonight will be the Comets 96 and the Vikings 76. Our post-game report is on the way next. Stay with us. This is Viking basketball on the Voice of the Vikings and the Voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Lockout Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue at 701-845-6938 or James M. Lockout at CPA 701-845-1660. Services offered through Investment Advisors, a division of Pro Equities Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities offered through Pro Equities Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer and member FINRA and SIPC.
Every body is different. Some experience injuries, while others need extra support.
I'll help you, Grandma.
At Jamestown Regional Medical Center, your health is what matters most. Our orthopedics and sports medicine team care for you and your unique needs. Their goal is to help you live your best life. Choose Jamestown Regional Medical Center for care of hips, shoulders, knees, and broken bones. Learn more at jrmcnd.com/orthopedics.
Why choose professional eye care centers? Let me count the whys. First, there are now 4 great doctors to see. Dr. Frank, Dr. Freilich, Dr. Jangela, and now welcoming Dr. Bond. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic frame selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on 3 major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
Lever's Foods, best quality, best price. Lever's Foods, best service, they're nice. Lever's Foods, they make everything right.
All this week at Lever's Foods in Valley City, save big on boneless beef bottom roast, $3.99 a pound. Extra large red or green seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. Kellogg's cereals after coupon, just $1.88 a box. And Progresso Vegetable Classic Soup, 3 for only $4.98. Deliveries available by calling 845-1732. Lever's Foods, Valley City.
A tough night at the yard here tonight for Valley City State as the Viking women and men are beaten by significant margins by Mayville State this evening, as the Viking men are beaten 96-76. The Viking women were beaten 95-76, and all told, the Comets will come in and score 191 points in a men's and women's doubleheader tonight. You don't see that happen very often in this arena, but tonight it was all Mayville State, both ends of this one, except for the first quarter of that women's matchup, which was exciting, where the Vikings were down 30-26 at the end of a quarter of play. From there, Mayville State with a huge advantage in the second quarter of that women's matchup, outscoring the Vikings 27-8. And throughout the course of this one, the Vikings found themselves down 20 in the early going of this matchup tonight against Mayville State's men, and never got closer than 20 in the second half. We welcome you to our post-game report tonight. And the Vikings have a lot to talk about. Again, it's just worth mentioning that this Viking team doesn't seem to be the same team that really they had a role going of sorts back at the beginning of the year. And their rotations are a little kind of undecided at this point. Looks like there's some chemistry that they're trying to find. They haven't been able to find yet. And it's going to take a lot of soul searching for this team to come together before they get ready to go on the road and play Dickinson State in Dickinson coming up on Friday, and there's a lot to do with this Viking men's basketball team. But tonight in the second half of the doubleheader, Vikings beaten by 20, 96-76. 4 players in double figures tonight for the Comet men, co-led by 21 points from Jamison Kramer and Tom Giske. And Jamison Kramer, the native of Marion, North Dakota, just down the road, Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, Lobo, gave a great show to the fans that came up to watch him tonight. 21 points, 13 rebounds this evening for the Comets, all rebounds defensive. Tom Giske with 21 points, 8 rebounds. 17 points for John White Jr., 5 of 8 shooting from the three-point line. Jacob Strand with 11 tonight. Juan Carlos Canajote with 9. Stefan Garza with 4. Darren Jones with 5 off the bench. 4 for Keyshawn Bolin. 2 for Steele Sensky at the end. B.J. Woods with 2. The Vikings with 4 in double figures. Lamar Grayson and Odair Olang each with 14 points. Olang pulls down 7 rebounds as well. Ogwen Irish with 13. Caden Rickard with 10. Ladaria Stanfield scores 9. So the Vikings just one away from 5 in double figures tonight. Hunter Lyman a 6 rebound night, but not able to get on the scoreboard tonight. Osenu Nagome with 5. Jerome Washington with 5. Caden Grindy with 3. Cleveland Bedgood with 3. A tough night for Cleveland Bedgood. 17 point per game player. And he ends up with just 3 points tonight. The Vikings commit 11 turnovers, force 15. They were out-rebounded 49-37. It was about even on the offensive glass at 11-10, but it was the shooting percentage. The Comets tonight were 55.4% from the field, and the Vikings were 37.1% from the field. The Vikings were 26.1% from the three-point line, and the Comets were 42%. So the Comets just flat-out shot the basketball, and that was the difference in this matchup tonight as the Comets win it by a final score of 96-76. Our final award tonight is our Ivy Real Estate Group Player of the Game Award, brought to you tonight by Ivy Real Estate Group. They are your hometown team. They are the only locally owned real estate brokerage firm in Valley City, and they're ready to reward the hometown team with the Player of the Game every time that we have a Viking or Highlander broadcast. And tonight, the Player of the Game, Odair Olang for Valley City State, 14 points tonight. 3 big dunks tonight for Odair Olang, giving the crowd at least something to kind of get up and be excited about. And that was an effort that led to some results we couldn't find anywhere else. Odair Olang, 3 dunks tonight. The Ivy Real Estate Group, Player of the Game winner, brought to you by Ivy Real Estate Group. And that'll do it for our time with you tonight for Viking basketball. Again, the Highlanders tomorrow, they're down in Wahpeton. Video coverage on KOVC TV, and you're going to find that at our website. Go to newsdakota.com, hover over the sports tab, and you will find the link that says video. From there, you'll see a link that will give you your matchup. Jerry Edwards with a call tomorrow night. Girls-boys doubleheader that tips at 6. And we'll have that for you about 5:45 with the pregame report. And then we'll see you in Dickinson on Friday for Viking basketball as the Vikings take on the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State. Want to thank our fine sponsors that make it possible each and every night out, whether it's a win or a loss. It's always a great day to be a Viking. This one, though, just didn't go the Vikings' way. Viking women beaten 95-76. Viking men beaten 96-76. That'll do it for tonight. For KOVC Sports and Viking Basketball, I'm Ryan Cunningham saying so long, everybody.
This is 1490 KOVC AM Valley City and 96.3 K242CZ Valley City.
The voice of the Valley.
Fox News, I'm Tom Rigotti. GOP presidential hopeful Nikki Haley says she doesn't want an octogenarian in the White House for another 4 years.
The majority of Americans have said they don't want their options to be two 80-year-olds for president. We've got to move past that.
Haley at a rally in Rochester, New Hampshire today. Haley trails Donald Trump by 13 points 6 days before the primary, according to a Real Clear Politics polling average. The Biden administration is redesignating Houthi rebels in Yemen as a terrorist organization. Fox's Griff Jenkins explains.
Months after attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea began, the Iran-backed Houthi rebels still hold a cargo ship seized in November, used now as a recruitment tool. The Biden administration today redesignating the Houthis as specially designated global terrorists.
U.S. ships launched another wave of missiles against Houthi-controlled sites in Yemen tonight. America's listening to Fox News.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed for a limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
It's 40 love here in the third set.
And there's the bell. She's coming off the bench hot, looking for a quick knockdown. But wait, she's driving to the hoop. Oh, down goes the champ.
Now that's another double fault. She'll be shooting too.
The serve is up. And here comes the left hook. She's bundled her home and auto insurance with Progressive. Swish, ace, savings, TKO.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Here is your Egg Central forecast from meteorologist Mick Hare. Mostly cloudy for tonight. We're looking for a low of around 8 below zero. Wind chills still 22 below this evening. Tomorrow, 2 above. Wind chills 24 below. Still with that cold mix. It's going to take us up through the weekend. On Friday, high near 3 above. And then Saturday, a high near 7 above. But Sunday is the turnaround with highs near 20. Maybe the 30s on the way coming up for next week. For more weather, log on to newsdakota.com.
We make the workday go by faster. KOVC, 1490 AM and 96.3 FM. Streaming online at newsdakota.com, on your smart speaker, and on the KOVC app.